70 years after the LPGA crowned its first champion here in the Tampa area, we're going to hand out another trophy at the Pelican Women's Championship. Pelican Golf Club, Grant Boone and Paige McKenzie watching Se-Young Kim at the first hole, continuing to pour it on.
Yeah, the first 3 days had looked nearly flawless, taking advantage of these birdie opportunities and doing the same out of the gate.
Allie McDonald, fresh off her first victory just a few weeks ago, is not going quietly.
No, we've seen that from her, kind of late in the round, hole-in-one yesterday to put a little pressure on Se-Young Kim and trying to put some pressure on her today.
Well, that tap in for birdie had a chance to narrow the lead, but
she knows how to answer, and that's what we've seen. Anytime she's been challenged, she answers the challenge.
All right, this is the par 5 7th, and this is Allie McDonald, 5 shots back with a chance for a 3 here at the par 5. Yesterday, she was 3 down going to the 12th tee, made her first career competitive ace, got to within 1, but then Se-Young Kim rattled off 4 straight birdies, took a 5-shot lead into this final round. That's where it is at the moment. Now, Se-Young Kim has a birdie putt of her own, and this is that one with Paul Fusco, her longtime caddy, only caddy she's had on the LPGA Tour, giving her an extra set of eyes.
And what she did after the hole-in-one yesterday was just so impressive. And I think that's what stands out when you think about Se-Young Kim. If she's pushed a little, if she's confronted a little by an opponent, she manages to punch back that much harder. It's been really fun to watch. It'll be interesting to see if she can convert this one.
Oh, okay. So the black belt in Taekwondo can't quite punch back here, and Allie McDonald has about 3 or 4 feet to get within 4. You got a Solheim Cup player and a player trying to become number 1 in the world. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the race to the CME Globe. From Bel Air, Florida, it's final round coverage of the Pelican Women's Championship. It's been a great week here in Tampa, St. Pete, over by Pier 60, up in Clearwater Beach, and down here at the Pelican Golf Club, just a few miles to the south, where so many of the great players in the history of the LPGA Tour have won. This area has produced winners like Kathy Whitworth and Louise Suggs and Betsy Rawls and our own Judy Rankin through the years. And now Se-Young Kim is trying to add her name to that illustrious luster of champions. 72 degrees. The gusts are always what you keep your eye out for here in Florida on the Gulf Coast. Allie McDonald did make that putt for birdie, and so it's a 4-shot lead. Well, Se-Young Kim certainly continues to add what is becoming a phenomenal career in just 5.5 years on the LPGA Tour, looking for her 12th win today and closing in perhaps on the top spot in the Rolex rankings. Paige, as you watch Se-Young Kim today play with this lead, what will you have your eyes and your ears on?
Well, the first thing first, I'm going to be watching body language. Se-Young Kim is very distinct in how she goes about playing when she's in the zone. You see some players like Tiger Woods where it looks like they're walking through water. They slow down. Se-Young Kim actually picks up. She's already a quick player, but she makes decisions and then she looks at the target very quickly and decisively. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. The other thing that I'm going to watch out for is her conversations with her caddy, Paul Fusco. It's something that we've really enjoyed watching, and we know that by nature, Se-Yeon Kim is an aggressive player. She doesn't have to be aggressive, not playing with this kind of lead, so it'll be interesting to see that interaction. If Paul's going to pull her back to a more conservative target every now and then. She's very much in control, even through that conversation. She'll be the one making the decision ultimately, so I'm anxious to see how she's going to handle playing with this big lead.
Well, if you're Allie McDonald or anyone else, this is the problem. You're trying to chase down the best player in terms of scoring average, in terms of greens in regulation, and a player who has a history of building big leads and then adding to them. She's won 3 times by at least 5 shots, including a month ago at the KPMG Women's PGA. Paige and I are joined by Tom Abbott, calling the odd-numbered holes. Jerry Foltz and Karen Stupples are out there. Jerry following our final group, which includes our leader now by 4, Se-Yeon Kim.
Last to play on this tee. The other 2 fellow competitors already hit nice drives in the fairway. And Se-Yeon's not watching that one very long.
Right down the pipe, as she's been most of the week. All right, while we have a moment, let's meet this final group in their own words.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Meadow. I'm from Jordanstown, Northern Ireland, and my cool fact is that I travel with my golden retriever. He's 1 year old, and his name is Dallas.
Hi, I'm Allie McDonald. I'm from Fulton, Mississippi, and I had 2 double eagles in the same week when I was in 8th grade.
Hi, I'm Se-Yeon Kim. I'm from Seoul, South Korea. I'm black belt in Taekwondo. Help!
Yeah, and you noted that she carries some of that Taekwondo when she's in the crucible of trying to win.
It's the mentality, and that's the fun part and the exciting part about being able to watch her play.
Well, a whopping 24% of the field hit this green in regulation yesterday, Karen, the 8th.
A little easier today. Not quite as much downwind for these players. So all 3 players in this group hit the green. This putt back uphill, pretty slow. Brooke did 3 putt the previous hole just for a par, so she could be one better.
It's going to be another great week for Brooke Henderson. Still looking for her first victory of this shortened season. Her last 3 events, a couple of 6th place finishes, and of course that playoff loss with Nelly Korda at the A&A Inspiration as Mi Rim Lee shocked everyone with that hole-out extravaganza. This was Brooke earlier at 4th.
Yeah, and she knew she was going to have to make a big run. Se-Yeon Kim does not tend to backpedal, so went out aggressively, was able to pick up a birdie early on. This front side has given up quite a bit of scoring, so you want to get off to a hot start, and she did what she was supposed to do in the first few holes.
Again, that 3, she would roll that into the 5th, by the way. The 3 putt at the 7th really halted her momentum, and you go back to the 14th hole yesterday, a par 5 that was playing quite easily, and only able to make par there. All right, here's Lydia Ko. It's been another solid week for Lydia, wouldn't you say, Karen?
I would say so. I mean, I think she's definitely making some good inroads with her game. I think she's gaining confidence back in it, and I think that's the biggest key. And honestly, we've seen the extra distance that she's put on with her drives and the work ethic that she has with that. I think now just the finishing touches will be what she's able to do with this club now, and if she can get back to sort of her 2015 form with a putter. It's a good looking stroke. A little too positive though.
It was interesting with Lydia, just the downs that she's been through, but it's great to see her back up towards leaderboard.
Well, we're used to seeing Se-Yeon Kim atop leaderboards, looking for her 12th career win in just 5.5 years.
Welcome to the inaugural Pelican Women's Championship, presented by Dex Imaging and Konica Minolta. After a 30-year hiatus, we are excited to welcome the LPGA Tour back to Tampa Bay and our newly renovated Pelican Golf Club. Although disappointed that we cannot host fans at this year's event, We hope to see you next year at the Pelican Women's Championship so you can enjoy one of the elite events in the Tampa Bay area. We hope you enjoy the tournament.
Many thanks to Dan Doyle and the Doyle family for putting on this Pelican Women's Championship. It's been a very successful first year. Out on the 9th, Brooke Henderson.
Tricky hole location today, all the way the back right. And the wind is blowing from the right, so tough to get it close. This was a 7-iron.
And just tucked it away. Funny green, it's almost like they put some pool noodles under the green there with the humps and bumps. It's really quite fun, but not if you're on the wrong side.
Just maybe a step further left than you want to.
Okay. You like a 70 type fill?
That is perfect.
Okay.
The breeze is lighter than it has been all week in the complete opposite direction from the first 3 days, which is a blessing here from 187 yards because this green slopes away from the fairway, nearly impossible to stop the ball downwind. That was pulled a bit, left edge of the green.
Just got to within 4. You don't want to give it back. Se Young next.
That big tree trunk left of the hole as you finish.
.169 yards and going with 6-iron. That is more than enough club.
Yeah, we heard from Allie. She was just trying to carry it 5 on. Hole location 22 paces on. There will be quite a bit of release once this hits.
Took a little off it, abbreviated follow through, and hit a little fade right at it.
Wow.
First of all, that is not a hole location you would typically challenge. There's a little runoff just right of it. That's a fine leave. She'll have an uphill putt back. But most players would not be challenging to go at that hole location.
We needed it to go a little left.
What a shot. Well, this is the first week back for Se Young Kim on the LPGA Tour since winning the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, and she's already had some moments where it's hitting her that she's a major champion.
I feel like same, but when the standing on the first tee, like announcer, oh, this is a major champion, Se Young Kim. When I heard that, it feels like, oh, yeah, I got that. Yeah, it feels very emotional.
And that was 7:43 on Thursday morning. Take a look at the last 3 winners on the LPGA Tour. Probably not a coincidence that all 3 have had good weeks.
Yeah, being able to ride that momentum. It was honestly 3 great storylines. Mel Reid, a longtime professional golfer, played on the LPGA Tour for several years before finally notching that win after becoming so close the week prior. Se Young Kim, we've always said, was deserving of a major championship. It was just a matter of when. And Allie McDonald facing Danielle Kang in the final group, coming down to the end on the 18th hole. It was pretty spectacular finishes.
Lydia Ko on the tee at the 9th.
This is just a baby 8-iron for Lydia. Taking a good line, Tom.
Yeah, tough hole location today. And that one's going to work out well. A lot of protection on the right side. There's a little bunker on the right of this green. There's water there as well.
All right, a 3rd shot at the 8th for Allie McDonald.
Not an easy shot. Can't run it along the ground because of a sprinkler head just off the edge of the green that is likely going to be in her line. Downhill lie and an extremely tight lie. It takes a lot of skill, proper technique, and really good nerves to be able to clip this one just properly.
You could see her practicing using the bounce, keeping that hands neutral at impact. That's how you are able to use the bounce. Any hands forward, you're going to start digging in with that leading edge.
clipped it just ideally.
Whoa.
Still slopes away a bit.
There's the pressure of knowing that the player you're chasing is closing in on becoming number one in the world. You don't get it up and down. So Se-Young with the birdie putt in a moment. First to 9.
And Brooke Henderson just looking like she's going to loft this one a little bit, Karen.
Well, she absolutely needs to. I mean, she's got the green slopes quite dramatically down towards the hole. And she's going to try and lob this one up in the air, but only landing it just barely on the green. She does have a decent lie. It's a little bit fluffy around the ball, but I think that's kind of comforting, to be honest.
Very nice.
Let's take a look at our course setup. It's brought to you by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. Our first look, most of the world's first look at Pelican Golf Club.
Yeah, and it's a golf course that has gone through a lot of changes since the origination in 1925 by Donald Ross. Just a few years ago, you had Bo Welling Design come in. They took some of the water areas and took some of that fill dirt out, put it in the humps and bumps throughout the fairway, and the greens, which is what you're going to see. That's been a big part of this golf course's defense, is the big greens with a lot of movement, a lot of undulation, and knowing exactly where to put the golf ball within these green complexes.
It's a great property, and Se-Young Kim is trying to become the first champion here for birdie at 8.
Up the hill all the way to the hole, but the slope is steeper the first 2/3. Flattens out a little right here. Oh, what a good effort.
We've seen a lot of the tap-ins, the no-stress pars from Se-Young, which is exactly what she has to do. You know, continue to put herself in position and give herself looks at these birdies, but pars are not likely to hurt her at this point. We haven't seen that many low scores. Now the conditions are better today, so we're more likely to see a chaser being able to take advantage. But for Se-Young, easy 2-putt par is not going to hurt her on the 8th.
Yeah, the question is if she parred in, you know, could Allie get to 15 under? We'll find out. I would think it would be a stretch to say that Se-Young won't get deeper than 15 under. How about this opportunity today for Stephanie Meadow, win, lose, or draw, Jerry?
Well, yeah, it's obviously a big moment for her, and not a position where she has been many times, but where she wants to be every time. Got off to a bit of a nervy start, though. 3-putted the first hole from like 12 feet. Bogeyed the second as well, but seems to have settled down and hitting a lot of really good shots, and has calmed her nerves a bit, unfortunately. This is for par. Her really nice approach shot ran well past the green and pitched it to here.
Oh.
She made a lot of those putts yesterday and throughout the week.
To the 9th.
Lydia for birdie.
Got quite a bit of movement on that one, but she read it well.
Yeah, didn't quite hit it coming down the hill there. So Lydia will finish the first 9 holes here in the final round of the Pelican Women's Championship. 6 under par, Lydia, just outside the top 5. 1 over for the day. Back over to 8.
And the par putt for Allie McDonald to remain 4 back.
Yeah, these get important, even more important with every passing hole. 4.5, 5 feet, slightly uphill with a tiny bit of break to the right.
Solid par save. Important par save.
Huge. Missed the green left, up and down, remains 4 back as they head to the par 3 9th. Today's coverage is brought to you by Konica Minolta. To learn more, visit reshapework.com. Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable. And by CME Group, how the world advances.
Just a moment ago, Se-Young Kim and Ali McDonald both making par at the 8th. McDonald on the tee at the 9th.
That was 7 iron, trying to get it just left of the hole and use the contour, but this was a little left of that.
And it's going to be on the other side of those contours. So a little work to do with that one. Now Stephanie Meadow.
Very flat golf swing. Generates more power than you would think, though. It definitely doesn't lack. For too much distance, this might just catch those slopes if it gets back to him. Yeah.
Yeah,
it should.
It's going to be on the correct side. Very similar putt to the one we just saw from Lydia. Brooke Henderson did not make her par here, so she's dropped back to 7 under. Saw that nice little chip shot behind the green, but wasn't able to convert the putt. Now, let's see how aggressive she is here.
I don't think she knows another way. The only way, and Paige mentioned it in her on camera, the only way she doesn't take on a flagstick is when Polly gives her a target that's not there, but she still hits, as the sports psychologists talk about, she hits an aggressive shot to a conservative target sometimes. She just, it's not in her nature.
She doesn't see the golf course a different way.
No, she doesn't play safe for fun. Try and get it to fade. It's just going to miss the proper side of those hills.
Yeah, it's going to go over the green, Jerry. Well, it's not easy from there, as we saw with Brooke Henderson. So a bit of work to do for Se-Young Kim, who does have a 4-shot lead, but Ali McDonald is creeping closer here at the Pelican. Back on the 9th, and Se-Young Kim trying to figure out what to do here. Jerry, it's not an easy one, although we just saw Brooke Henderson play a nice little sort of high shot from back here.
Yeah, you fortunately have just a little bit of cushion over the ball where you can hit that high one. Remember though, Se-Young does not carry a lob wedge. Most lofted wedge is a sandwich, 56 degrees. Basically has to get it just to trickle over the crest of the spine, which is about 3 feet short of the green. If you land it over that, it's going to kick forward quickly.
She's going to have to land it in the fringe?
If you want to get it close, yeah. And even that's iffy. If she lands it just short of that spine, it might not get on the green. Landed right on the seam.
Almost exact same result as Brooke Henderson. And Brooke did not make the putt, so Se-Young still with a bit of work to do, despite playing that really nice shot that almost went in. Let's take another look at that from her angle.
See, gripping up on the club a little bit for some extra control. Oftentimes keeps the club from moving too fast, take a little speed off of it, but you can see just how quickly the green slopes away from her.
Se-Young said earlier in the week she doesn't really want to watch leaderboards and know where she stands, but she's going to know because she's playing alongside the player who's his closest.
Well, she commented she'd seen the standard bear. Like she knows the standard that is there. She's aware of it, but she does use that technique just to stay within her own game, which today, as with every day, important to do. Focus on what you can control, and that's your own game. Although she seems to respond pretty well when somebody gives chase.
We know what she's like under pressure. You talked about it yesterday in the way that she's played in playoff situations. McDonald with a pretty tricky putt here, Jerry.
Very much so. I think virtually impossible to leave the shore of the hole. A little bit longer putt, maybe in a Pro-Am day, could get putted in the water. It won't happen here, but that's how much slow she's dealing with. Once it gets to the top of that hill, it drops a good 3 feet to the hole.
More downhill from here. Maybe downhill into the hole.
Tremendous putt.
Really nice.
She's got some momentum going, does Ali. I mean, she birdied the 4th, birdied 6, birdied 7, get it to 11 under par, and now she has a chance to get one shot closer because Se-Young Kim still has quite a lot of work to do to make par. So Ali's going to feel as though her chances are growing here, and that will boost her confidence, especially coming off that win.
It's been a solid season for Jessica Korda. Hasn't really threatened to win this season, but that's a second straight birdie, and Jessica moves it to 4 under par on her round, and she's tied for 7th place. Tie for 8th is her best finish so far this year.
Stephanie Meadow, best finish, was 3rd on the tour. That was back in 2014 before she became a member. She's currently 3rd here. This is for birdie.
Yeah, even though she's on the proper side of the slope, it's still quite fast. Best finish this season, she's played 12 events, which is a lot, is 13th. Needs to turn quickly.
Her fiance is caddy out here for Christy Kerr. And she said they had a good chat going into the weekend. He said, you just got to play your own game. Don't worry about the other players you're with. Your game's good enough. Just concentrate on playing your own game. Don't get put off by what's going on around you. She's done well this weekend. This is a big weekend for her.
Well, we see the couple bogeys to start the day. Well, yesterday she had a very similar start. A couple bogeys in her first 4 holes, but went on to birdie 4 of her last 8, so was able to turn it on.
So a good crowd there behind the green. There are members that are allowed to come out and watch, and they can bring a small number of guests. So no public fans here this week, still playing behind closed doors, but there is a bit of an atmosphere out there with the members and guests. Now this for par.
Most of the people that you see around the greens know these greens better than the players, actually. They play here so much. This one slightly uphill for Se Young.
Oh, shot goes away there. So Ali creeps 1 closer to Se Young Kim, and the lead is 3. It was as large as 6 after that birdie on the opening hole for Se Young Kim.
We go to the 10th and find Brooke Henderson with her second.
This flag today is located on the higher front portion of the green. This is a wedge from 125.
And a chance to get that shot back that she dropped at the 9th. A 6-shot lead has been cut in half as the leaders make the turn. All right, so it is split tees, groups of 3 this weekend, which means even though the leaders just a moment ago left the 8th, here comes the first group off 10. Jody Ewart-Shadoff, 17th hole of the day, and her good friend and Symetra Tour player Holly Clyburn stepped in thinking that might drop.
Well, she's had a few drop today. 7 birdies on the card. Went out 5 under on her first 9 holes. The back 9, which we're going to see the leaders now approach. So there are some scoring opportunities. Jody able to take advantage of that on a big move up the leaderboard for her today.
She'll be home in about an hour and a half time. She lives in the Orlando area. 15.
You're banking on I-4 traffic not being bad. Robin Reeve for birdie at the 15th. Good week for the third-year player from California who's just finished her penultimate semester at USC. She's taking classes online in real estate development. She said it's been really stressful, a lot of work to do this week, but the semester's over now.
A lot of work to do still for Allie McDonald, but she's crept closer to within 3 here at 10.
With a little bit of breeze helping here, just has to keep it right of the fairway bunker on the left side of the fairway.
Flirting. Ooh.
Oh, just right is all it took.
I think getting to within 3 with 9 holes to play was huge for Allie. 2-shot swings happen all of the time. We saw that yesterday with her ace. We see it with birdie bogeys. So getting within 3, all of a sudden, if you have a 2-shot swing, you're within 1. So that was, I think, a large momentum shift the last few holes with Allie's birdie on 7 and Se Young's bogey on 9.
3 bogeys in 54 holes for Se Young Kim, but 2 on her first 9 today.
Well, you can get into a little bit of tree trouble on the right. Oh.
The body language was deceptive.
That reminds me of what? Fred Funk, Vijay Singh?
Yeah.
Tom Kite? Dating myself a bit.
Well, it is time for our worth talking about feature brought to you by Consumer Cellular. Winningest players from the Republic of Korea. Of course, Sae-ri Park, the second player ever to win from the Republic of Korea, and she kept on winning 25 times. Enby Park earned her 20th victory earlier this year in Australia. And now with a win at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, Se-young has matched Ji Ye-shin, who plays full-time on the LPGA Tour of Japan, though she is Korean, with 11. Ji Ye was a number 1 in the world, like Enby, and Se-young has a chance to pass her. Worth talking about, brought to you by Consumer Cellular. Remember, it was a 3-shot lead going to the 12th hole yesterday for Se-young. Allie McDonald made an ace to get within 1. They both parred the tough 13th, and then 4 straight birdies for Se-young, and it was a 5-shot lead going into this final round. Familiar face of the 9th?
Yeah, Lexi on her final hole of the day. This was on the 3rd hole in round 1, Grant.
Watch it. Up the flagstick and then right back down.
Nice way to start the week for Lexi. Maybe she can finish off with a good one here on the par 3. Had 5 birdies on the card today as Lexi, but a few too many mistakes. So she is 1 under for the day. Double bogeyed 18, knocked it in the water there. Brother Curtis on the bag this week. He's going to caddy for her again at the CME Group Tour Championship. A week before Christmas, the final event of the year.
The target will be just left of the hole and likely short of the hole. Anything, if you start to challenge the back of the green, if you're left of the hole, you can catch that downslope, and we've seen several players end up behind the green.
And that's going to go way over to the left, so a really tough putt from there for Lexi.
It's a difficult hole location for anybody that moves the ball right to left. Whenever the flag's on the right corner of the green, kind of want that natural fade shot shape.
Talking about the upcoming schedule for the LPGA Tour, playing in December. Very unusual, but it's been an unusual year, hasn't it? The week off next week, and then the Volunteers of America Classic just outside of Dallas. The US Women's Open, where they use 2 courses over the first 2 rounds at Champions Golf Club, because they have a 156 player field and not a lot of daylight, so they need 2 courses the first 2 days. That's unusual. And then, as I mentioned, finishing off just down the road, about 2 hours south of here, maybe a little more than that, CME Group Tour Championship. At the 13th, Jessica Korda with a chance to make 3 birdies in a row.
It's a good look at this hole location as well. You can see it kind of tucked in this back left corner of the green. Jessica left it in about as perfect a position as you can without really taking unnecessary risks.
Good try. They moved the tee up again today, 371. It's 435 on the card with the wind into their face on this hole earlier in the week. It was really tough. Some players couldn't even get to the green in 2. Back to 10.
And the second shot for Stephanie Meadow, who is alone at the moment in 3rd place.
152 yards, little bit of breeze helping, and a front hole location. Probably would have to land this on the fringe to get it close, even though there is some slope from back to front. Until you get to the big reverse tier in the middle of the green.
Jump once. Yep.
Okay.
Very good lead. Again, you're going to see more players end up 10 yards short than 10 yards long. That's where the challenge or the danger is.
No, you're right. 15, you're going to be good. That's right. A good trajectory. Make sense? You can attack it.
Jerry, you referenced some of those old names on the PGA Tour. Vijay Singh, Paul Fusco won 4 times on Vijay's bag.
That's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
139 yards. They work in meters, remember? 139 yards going with the 9-iron. It'll be an easy one. Very easy one. Just left of the hole. Oh, how softly did that land?
Good job. What'd you hit? Yeah. Good job.
The lead is 3. And a good shot from Se Young, but a chance here for Allie maybe to get inside of her.
Yeah, and the vertical eye for it. 10 yards closer, 129 yards. She too, though, is going with 9-iron. It'll be a little one, but the lie helps spin it because it's slightly uphill. Huge bonus when you need to really spin it. Just a little right.
Not sure who will go first there. Maybe Allie. Pretty close. The lead is 3 for Se Young Kim, looking for her 12th career title.
There are some tricky putts out here at Pelican Golf Club. This definitely one of them. Lexi's birdie try here at the 9th, which she is hoping will be her final putt of the day. Very good touch. And a tap-in par to come for Lexi to finish the week.
Nothing to sneeze at. That long putt for birdie. Meadow, 10.
Even though she was farthest away, probably the easiest putt up the hill and straight.
You heard her say, when she introduced herself, dog named Dallas, a tie for 6th in her last event of the season last year allowed her to retain her card. She gets another shot clear of 4th place. Allie McDonald will go first before Se Young.
Yes, and a little bit of a quicker putt here down the slope, not a ton of break.
Nine.
Jody, you had shut off for a round of 64. Oh, Jody. Going to be a 65 to end the week, but 64 would have tied the low number for the Pelican Women's Championship. And Jody's struggling with some back problems coming into this week. She tweaked her back pulling a charger out of the wall. She said, I wish it was a better story. Hadn't walked 18 holes since the KPMG Women's PGA when she played here on Thursday. Great week.
Se Young to stretch the lead.
Turning right.
So matching pars for McDonald in 2nd place and the leader Se Young Kim.
Starting to get surprised when they don't go in.
Yeah.
As much as we've seen her convert a lot of these birdie putts, it looked good most of the way, and just at the very last couple of inches dove off to the right.
I think Allie thought she had made hers as well. I think she thought hers was dripping left.
Most definitely was fooled by the line. She was happy with the putt she hit, it looked like.
All right, tonight should be a good one. An old-fashioned AFC West battle between the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs and the only team to beat them this year, the Las Vegas Raiders. Tonight, 7 o'clock on NBC. 11.
Brooke and Brittany Henderson.
A little disappointed with the second shot that she played in here. Had a decent number, but couldn't get the ball closer to the hole than this. Now it's got a fairly tricky putt on. It's going to go up and over a sort of a little false front here on the right side and flatten out a bit in the middle, but then carry on just a little bit more uphill with a bit of break to the left as it approaches the hole.
Yeah, it is very clear. Just there. Yeah, and this sort of patches into the green too.
Certainly some grain in these greens, and you heard Brittany there trying to figure out where the grain is on this putt.
And I think that those added bits of information, it's almost too much. almost too much to take on board. You just have to look, feel, and trust your instincts, I think, Tom, here.
She's got good instincts, hasn't she, Brooke?
Yeah, I would say the one neat thing about grain, if you're not very familiar with it, that shiny side, it actually looks faster. Shiny, of course, indicates that it's down grain, so there is some level of intuitive feel based on just the color that you're looking at.
Good indication is to look at the hole and see where it's worn, and that's usually the way the grain is going. Ali McDonald back on the tee at the 11th.
Right fairway bunker out of play. That should be the target. Left fairway bunker definitely in play. Back into a very, very light breeze. Just ideal conditions out here right now.
Over the right?
In off the right.
Well, I stayed way back.
Yeah, best of the week so far. There's supposed to be
Quiet, please.
a chance of a shower towards the end of our coverage today, so hopefully that stays away.
Se Young wearing her traditional Sunday red pants. Has it stamped on her wedges, actually. RSY. Used to be RPSY. Red pants, Se Young. Always on Sunday.
I tell you what, Jerry, you got some great info. I was trying to figure out what you meant there. I didn't know she had this uniform.
I did know the red pants.
You learn something new every day watching the LPGA on Golf Channel.
It may well be a two-player race at this point. Se Young leading Ali McDonald by 3. Stephanie Meadow hanging tight. Nice birdie. At the 10th, gets her 1 clear of Henderson and Ernst. Jessica Korda and Angela Stanford 4 under. Golf course today playing about a stroke easier than it did yesterday.
Well, the conditions are much different. We're not seeing the kind of winds that we saw over the first 3 days. And that's part of the reason why we're seeing scores like Jody Ewart Shadoff entering the clubhouse at 5 under.
Sarah Schmelzel at 5 under as well.
51, so.
I think I can hit this full again.
Yep,
8.
hit it full. Wind just slightly from the right, so you can probably start just a little right of it, all right?
Yeah, that yellow person in the distance.
Yeah, perfect. You got it. Just hit it normal, all right? Cool.
Yeah.
Eight iron here, as you heard. Playing back into that slight breeze, adjusting for the wind. Hole in the lowest portion of the green. Front of the green actually slopes toward the back a little bit. And then the back comes a little bit back at you. So you can get this close with a good shot.
Seen a few come up short here. Wonder if that wind is just fooling them.
Well, we met a member here at Pelican the other day, Michael Pena, the actor. Here's another one, Fred Ridley. He also belongs to another club you may be familiar with, Augusta National, where he is the chairman, coming off, well, a week unlike any other. A week ago, Dustin Johnson got it to 20 under par. And he knows a thing or two about having to adjust on the fly, as this tournament did, moving from May to November. The Masters, of course, moved from April to November.
Ali McDonald second.
9 iron, slide up hill lie, 1-3-6 to the hole. Pulled to the left and it's staying there, actually drawing a touch.
It's not going to roll back. Stop.
About flag high there.
Right.
That is the ball of Se Young Kim. That's just not good luck.
120 to the left.
Perfect.
With 9 iron out of that sandfield divot as well, and the sands had ruffled up a little bit, like somebody stepped on it just behind the ball. You can't flatten it, you can't move it. You can still ground your club.
And there's a bunch of sand on the ball just about where she's going to strike it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of an unknown here for Se Young Kim.
Pretty good contact out of there, all things considered, but it squirted way right.
Yeah, that's just unlucky. But it adds to the intrigue of this final round. She's got to get it up and down for par.
Yeah, most of the tournaments the players play in, they do go ahead and fill the divots immediately after play. And so often, I think for professionals, they'd much prefer if it was just the firm turf underneath, because it just provides that much more difficulty in getting a clean contact.
To 12, Lydia Ko on the tee.
This is a 9-iron for Lydia. Whole location on that right side today. There's plenty of green to use. There's the trouble is you just don't want to go long.
Yes. This is where Allie McDonald made an ace yesterday to get within one. The hole was over on the left side of the green. Henderson next.
Brooks using an 8-iron. The tee box has been moved a little bit forward and a little bit more to the left to create a different angle for these players into this right flag today.
Yeah, let's. Henderson 7 under, tied for 4th. Lydia 6 under, tied for 6th. Every now and then you'll hear a conversation about changing the rules so that a ball that lands in the fairway in an old divot should be considered ground under repair.
And then you hear somebody else say that's the rub of the green. And that is, why we play golf outside. That you're not, playing on AstroTurf or fake turf. It's just part of the game.
Tough to define, though, isn't it? I mean, where do you say this isn't the divot and this is? I mean, that would be the... Obviously, with the case of Se-Young Kim was clearly in the divot, but that's not always the way. If there's a bit of rough ground, well...
And at what point
looks like
in
a divot to me,
and...
yeah. So maybe it's just best to get on with it. Se-Young Kim's third.
A little bit of a downhill lie and kind of a false front that runs about 6 feet into the green, false side to it. That's an upslope, pretty severe. Trying to fly that and spin it, not easy to do. Needs a stop.
Just a difficult shot all around. You could kind of see when Paul, her caddy, was climbing up the face of the green, you had a real sense of the amount of elevation she was going to have to carry in order to stop it quickly.
If she misses that putt, she goes 1 over for the day, and that would really shock me. I expected her to go out there and really take command of this final round. So maybe a bit of nerves, a bit of pressure.
Well, the only caddy that Se-Young Kim has ever had on the LPGA Tour is Paul Fusco, and they have become quite a team.
Me and Paul, we worked together been 6 years, so we know each other. So yeah, when I'm looking at him, he knows what I want, and I know what he wants. So yeah, it's really good potential when we on the golf course, and even out of the golf course, we are really good friends. He's like kind of my second dad. Yeah, he's a really good guy. Yeah, I'm very lucky to meet him.
It's been neat to watch this relationship on the golf course. It actually started before Se-Young Kim became a member of the LPGA Tour. She saw Paul working with another player and said, when I get my tour status, that's who I want to caddy for me, and that's exactly how it happened. They've been together ever since.
Allie McDonald for birdie.
Long range, gently uphill early. Flattens out right there.
Didn't give it enough.
Had a great line, too.
Yeah. Potential 2-shot swing. Just plugging away.
All right, 2 good looks at birdie. And here's Austin Ernst from longer range.
It is, with a bit of movement to the right as well. But the players in this group are almost playing their own little match, and that'll help her.
We always talk about a player winning for the first time like Allie a few weeks ago in Georgia. Any win is hard, and Austin waited 6 years to get her second. That was at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship.
Stephanie Meadow at the 11th for birdie.
Just about 3 or 4 feet up that face of the green, the page reference, then it levels out. Once again, excellent speed. Good putt.
It's been fun to watch. It seems like end over end every time she strikes the putt.
Brooke for birdie.
Not wishing to let a great tee shot go to waste.
speed to drop in the hole. So 2 for 2 for this penultimate grouping today. Ernst first, then Brooke. Lydia will have a birdie putt in a moment. First, back to the 11th.
Big putt here for Se-Yeon Kim. I mean, if this misses, it's only a 2-shot lead.
Going a little right early, too.
Good looking putt.
Wow.
Straight up and down.
Really big. Get a little deflated when you end up in a sand-filled divot, maybe thinking, you know, golf gods aren't really on my side today, but to be able to squeak out a par.
Yeah.
Makes this putt even bigger now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't in yet for Ali McDonald, and she knows she cannot afford to make any mistakes.
Well, she's had some pace issues the last couple of days, which kind of shows you there might be a little bit of nerves. She's talked about how on her putting she wants to be low and relaxed at address, just keeping it nice and relaxed. A lot of times when there's tension, that's when you start to speed control get off. But a good cleanup.
Se-Yeon Kim maintains that 3-shot advantage as they walk up to the tee at 12. We'll go to the green.
Got to make it 3 for 3, don't we, here?
I was going to say for the trifecta.
Lydia.
It's a much shorter effort here.
All right. Easy hole. Not really. And no coincidence, this is the next to last group. Lots of giggles, lots of smiles. Lydia, long-time #1 in the world, trying to work her way back up the rankings. A huge save for Se-Yeon Kim, and she ticks off one more hole, getting a little closer to win number 12. Well, there was that 3-shot advantage yesterday when they got to the 12th, and what happened? Ali McDonald happened.
She'd hit several good iron shots leading into this hole, and this, though, was the best of the day.
That look. Went with the pitching wedge, debating between 9 and a wedge. Se-Yeon Kim, by the way, has a flair for the dramatic. She made an ace en route to her second win in Korea back in 2013. She was trying to chase down So-Yeon Yu. It was her first year on the Korean LPGA Tour. So-Yeon had a 6-shot lead with 10 holes to play. It was still a 3-shot lead on 17, and Se-Yeon made it to a playoff, beat So-Yeon Yu.
And that was before we'd even really heard of Se-Yeon Kim and all the dramatics that we've seen since then.
She was outside the top 170 in the world rankings going into that year, and she became Rookie of the Year on this tour, and now she's a major champion.
And even after she holed out for Eagle in the playoff against Inby Park for rookie season, they said, "Was that the best shot of your career?" And she said, "No, actually it was not." It was referring back to that hole-in-one on that 71st hole. So a lot of opportunity for fireworks when we get a chance to watch Se-Yeon Kim on a Sunday.
Jerry, how impressed have you been with Stephanie Meadow here this weekend?
Well, especially after her start today and fighting back the way she has, calming her nerves and relying on that club that's been magic for her all week, the putter. It's been pretty impressive. Right here now, though, she was between 8 and 9 irons, going with the 9. This has to be a pretty good one. It's amazing, too, Paige. You look at her season-long stats, and the putter has been ice cold for the entire year. 131st in putts per green in regulation.
It's amazing how quickly it can turn around. A little bit of confidence that can really be wonders.
Turning a little left.
Just going to catch the center low point of the green. It's going to leave a little bit of a challenge. She's going to have to go up and over. And the green will be sloping a little bit away from her on that next shot.
You gotta keep checking. Yeah, for our angle, dead across.
No, you should be chipping right back. I mean, putting and chipping.
It's just like a stock.
It's almost say flat.
Yeah.
I missed the bump.
Yeah.
She hasn't been quite as sharp with her short irons today as she was yesterday. But this will be a great opportunity. If she's got good vibes on this hole, great opportunity to dial it in.
Pretty tough to be as sharp today as you were yesterday on this hole.
Exactly. That is true.
This is an 8-iron, though. What was it, 9 yesterday, so she's taken a little off it, as she told Dan.
Go.
Uh-oh. Could stay.
It stays.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just enough grass on that hill right now. Maybe not in future years.
Two more across right now. It's still touch off.
On the 12th hole where Fred Ridley is the chairman, that likely would have gone back in.
Unless you're Fred Couples.
Unless you're Fred Couples and you go on to win the Masters. Now Se Young.
It's certainly the most intimidating hole location because of what Allie did. You miss it right, you're making bogey, hit it down in the swale, and you're fighting for par. It's just a tiny target up there. That's a 9-iron.
Here's Chairman Ridley. Uh-oh. Is that up?
No ripples.
Big mistake, though. Not expected at all. But she wouldn't have been able to take advantage and try to pick up one more. Now she's going to be fighting.
So the top two pitching from in front of the 12. All right, both Allie McDonald and Se Young Kim pitching from in front of the 12th. Se Young first.
This is the better lie of the two, not by a bunch, but a better lie and an uphill lie, which makes the shot a little more doable. Wow, that looks nice.
We haven't seen her miss a lot of greens, but we've seen some really nice touch when she's need to get up and down.
Looked like a little exhale as she got up to the green level and saw how close it was. Now Allie, 3 back.
Se Young already tapped in with the flagstick in, which she never does. That's how close it was. Same shot here, except she is going to get a little more grass between the ball and the club face at contact. So likely going to open the blade a little bit more than Se Young did, just to be able to increase the club head speed and take a little of that unpredictability out of it. Needs to go just a bit.
It was the lie, wasn't it, Jerry? Just
100%, yeah.
Just what you said. So Se Young is in with a par. McDonald has a putt for par in a moment, first to 13.
Second shot for Austin Ernst.
Tee was moved quite a bit up today, Tom. Hole location tucked far left, but with Austin's drive going all the way down the right side, really opened up the angle for her.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't kick on a little more. I was out there watching earlier today, and downslope there, it kicks it towards the flag.
Meadow is 5 shots back, so winning is going to be really, really difficult, but she is alone in third, and for a player for whom it's not keeping the card this year because you're going to have it next year no matter what, but a big check go a long way.
Putter here just because even though it's an uphill lie, she could hit the lob wedge and land it on the green, but it has to be absolutely as precise as you could imagine. And this one might bounce a little bit because it is into the green, first 8 feet up that steep slope, though it didn't bounce, so it's going too hard.
Jerry, you've been impressed by the grain in this grass. I mean, it's pretty smooth Bermuda grass.
Yeah, I mean, it's got grain, no question. It's Bermuda, but it doesn't seem as bad as normal Bermuda at all.
Good angle here for Brooke Henderson at 13th.
Definitely for a putt, but the tee shot was down the left side, so couldn't really attack the flag.
mean, at the beginning of the week, if you'd said to a player you can be 8 under par on the 13th playing in the final round, they'd think, well, I would have a good chance to win.
Or, yeah, and in the second to last group.
Yeah, I think there was a sense when players got here that the scoring was going to be relatively high. It was a par 70. Se-Yeon Kim has, I think, surprised a lot of people with the way that she has played. Not with
especially the first 3 days.
Well, not with the fact that she's leading, just the fact that how low the score is. Ernst now for birdie.
Well, and I think, Tom, that when you first look at a golf course, it's can be fairly intimidating when you look at how these greens are and all the different undulations around them and the tightness of the fairway grass. And that's a shame to let that one go. But as we've seen with Se-Yeon Kim, she has no fear.
Right. Owns the record for the lowest score in the history of the tour.
And the record that she beat was one she shared with Annika Sorenstam at 27 under. So, what a player. Neto for par.
Downhill, down green, early, then right at the hole, switches green, turning slightly left. Oh.
Yeah, the mistake was made on the tee. It was going to be a difficult up and down, whether she used the putter or the wedge from where she was beyond the green. It just is such a small area on that right-hand side of the green.
Par putt at 13 for Brooke. So she remains 8 under, tied 4th is 8 under par. Short drive home for Brooke, couple of hours down to the Fort Myers area where she has a home.
And Allie McDonald to stay 3 shots back. Well, there were a lot of horns when she won in Georgia. I don't think those are boats.
Did her little aim point technique, even this just outside the right edge, I believe.
You know, she does warm up with a metronome in her earbuds, so it's very similar. Maybe there was comfort in that. Beautiful putt. Great save. Needed save.
A huge up and down at 8. Big one here. So Se-Yeon maybe felt like she stole a shot at the 11th hole with that great up and down, and Allie may have felt like she did some good work there at the 12th.
Se-Yeon's got to be looking at fairways and greens on this hole. She's missed the last 2 greens, scrambled to make a pair of good pars. But if she wants to maintain control, you know, set the tone in this group, she's got to make sure that she's got looks at birdie.
I mean, the one shot that would bother her would be the tee shot at 12, and the one at 11 was in the divot. Great up and down, but that tee shot at 12 kind of came out of nowhere. Much easier hole today. With the tee moved up, you saw the players walking a fair bit forward to that forward tee.
We saw that great angle that Austin Ernst had into this green. Players definitely want to favor the right side of the fairway. Coming in from the left, it just won't be able to see the bottom of the flag, won't have a lot of green beyond the greenside bunker.
Yeah, Allie McDonald was asked what music she was listening to while she was practicing. She said, well, actually, it's really boring. I've got a metronome on there. I'm trying to get the tempo of my swing right. There's no music. Let's see if the tempo is good here at 13, Jerry.
Yeah, well, this is a tee shot right now with the wind helping from the left. Big, giant, wide fairway. No real trouble. Or you just give it your all. Really hard to hit it into trouble here. 53 yards shorter than yesterday. Hole where the first day, Tom, almost everybody in the field took a head cover off for the second shot. Today it'll be a scoring club.
Yeah, it was right into the wind. In general, the fairways are generous here. Not a lot of rough. And that's the way they like it. And a lot of the holes, the fairways go from one hole to the next. It's all one big fairway in a lot of this property. Se-Yeon Kim.
Okay.
Left center. Not much roll yet again.
Se-Yeon Kim with a 3-shot lead. We are just a few miles from Clearwater Beach. It's been busy this weekend, folks, enjoying the sunshine.
Your face, it's as unique as you are. NEC's facial recognition technologies turn your unique qualities into your passport to travel, retail, education, hospitality, and healthcare. With NEC, your face is your passport to a more interactive, secure, and convenient life that is uniquely you. Let your smile be your passport with NEC. NEC.
Hey, you want to come join us?
The more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends.
Every day, more golfers are playing TP5 and 5X. Come join us, and you'll see why.
Happier we'll be.
This is my headquarters. This is where I trade and manage my portfolio. Since I added futures, I have access to the oil markets and gold markets. Okay, I'm plugged into equities, trade confirmed. And I have global access 24/7, meaning I can do what I need to do. Then I can focus on what I want to do. Visit your online broker today to learn more.
We built the wall to keep us all safe.
Safe from what?
It's just a little monkey. That's not good.
We have to save them. What's the plan? No tribe name. Thunder Sisters! Heads up!
The Cruise, a new age, rated PG.
13th fairway and the final group.
Yeah, no, that's my pitch. I like
Finish the red hole?
Actually, between stay here.
Put it past the pin better.
No, I mean, you got this. You're looking just to finish with this one. You got a little help back.
So you want me to finish it here?
Yeah, pitch like here. That's 15 or 20. I mean, you never get used to that. August.
I mean, if she's talking about going past the pin being better, Jerry, the numbers are very precise because you cannot afford to go long here.
Just one or left or right.
141 and a 9-iron. I couldn't quite make out what Paulie said, but I'm sure he's telling her to go well right because there's only 5 steps behind the flag today.
Yeah, he was saying just sort of middle right of the green.
He corrected her target.
Yeah.
Gave her a little more conservative and a little bit shorter.
This is right where he told her to hit it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's just fine. You can have a putt. Very similar to the one we saw from Brooke Henderson, which is fairly straight, little turn at the end. Yeah, if you go long of the flag, it's straight downhill to the
Correct.
water.
Across first, and then this hair up front. So, not much help.
Let's just play him like a low tempo drop shot.
Yeah. Can you hold your laminates, guys, if they're tinkering a little bit? Thank you. Perfect.
That's a first.
Paige McKenzie just looked to check that she wasn't wearing hers in the booth. She thought it might have been hers that was.
I just can relate to the jingling of change in pockets or the
commit to that number, really
lanyards jingling.
I had a caddy once used to walk over to him and say, "I'll give you $2 for all the coins in your pocket." Nonetheless, this 133 may be a chance to get it close to that hole location, but it has to be perfect. That's pulled. Oh, this is not going to end well.
No, don't want to miss it on the short side. Steady on. I think there's enough rough to stop that ball. Yeah.
The problem is, from that position, if she gets the chip anywhere near the pin, it's an incredible shot. Hitting it just in the center of the green is going to end up being the exact same place as she's likely going to be chipping it to.
Good angle for Stephanie Meadow.
By far the best shot of them all. Straight. She can just get one to release right up there in line with the hole. Can't go left of that at all. 129 downhill lie though in the rough, so it'll have very little, if any, spin. A little bit of a conservative line, that's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think she would have liked to have been a bit more aggressive. It's going to get a bit better. Going to go over to the 17th and the first round leader, Sophia Popov. She shot 64 on Thursday, had a chance for a 63. And makes birdie here, yes.
Well, the putter cooled down for her over the next couple of days, so got one back there and riding a pretty decent round today.
Just outside the top 10 at 3 under par. She's tied 13th, the AIG Women's Open champion. This is the really tough shot here for Ali McDonald at 13.
Try and one hop it into the hill, maybe two hop it.
Struggled with this part of her game at times this week.
Good. That is good.
So good.
Not this time. Wow.
Holy moly, that was good.
Incredible touch. And to your point, Tom, we saw 2 shots yesterday trying to bump it through that just didn't have as clean a contact. That was so good.
Third shot at the par 5 14th for Austin Ernst. Tied for third place at 8 under. And a chance to get to 9 under. Stephanie Meadow is one of those at 8 under par as well.
Stephanie Meadow has a putt here, which is it's a pretty good chance, this, isn't it, Jerry?
Yeah, very much so, yeah. Where she's standing, the ball's above her feet, makes you feel like it's going to turn big to the left, but it really doesn't, just a little bit early. In the process, she's going to give Se Young a terrific read. This also, in general, slightly uphill, so...
Too much. I actually finished out pretty well. It looked like it was going to run a long way by, didn't it?
She sounded a bit nervous about it.
Yeah, she sounded like it was going to go long. It's just fine.
It was the snapping. That's what stopped.
Had success last year in a special event that was put together by the Challenge Tour with players from the Ladies European Tour, or female players from around the world. It was called the World Golf Invitational at Galgorm Castle Golf Club over in Northern Ireland, and she beat Charlie Hull to win there, so that gave her a little confidence, even though it wasn't an officially sanctioned event.
At the hole, the green is right to left.
Now, Se Young Kim to get it to 15 under once again.
And you can count the number of players in all of professional golf who get up to hit a putt without ever having gotten into a crouch position to read it. It's just amazing. Inby Park is very similar in that regard. Just trust her instincts so well.
Not afraid to give it a run. Yeah, I always think it's like when you walk onto the putting green at a golf course you've never been to, or even the course that you play regularly, and you don't get down and look at the line, do you? But you still hold the putt.
It's amazing. And you do it quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you drop 3 balls down, you start hitting putts, and you know what they're going to do never really crosses your mind. You just know.
So you're saying we all overcomplicate it?
We certainly overthink. We definitely overthink it.
But you refer to it all the time, Paige, reading it with your feet.
Yeah. Well, this is a big putt.
Yeah, this for par. Great up and down. Stays within 3. Still a chance. Very much still a chance. And Ali just plugging away.
Well, even just walking away from that hole after hitting, I mean, that was about as bad of an approach shot as you can hit into the screen. You miss it in the worst possible place on that short side. But to be able to walk away with a par and hit what was such a beautiful pitch shot into the hill.
Well, to try and hit it, too. A lot of people might even putted that one just to ensure that they take the big number out of play. If that thing doesn't climb the hill on the second hop, it's back down at her feet. Now, Se Young, this one gives you the opportunity to get a little nervous here.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, it's not a long putt, but it is downhill fast, and it should just move a little right.
Good job. Se Young remains 14 under and a 3-shot lead, trying to win this inaugural Pelican Women's Championship.
We're at the 14th, and this is Lydia Ko.
Really quite amazing to see how much distance she's got on this hole in particular. 10 yards past Brooke off the tee shot, and only had 30 yards left with this hole. Definitely a tremendous up and down there too.
So close to her 16th victory at the Marathon Classic, a 5-shot lead with 6 to play, and that should remind us that it's never over till it's over, although Se Young Kim obviously these days is in better form than Lydia is at the moment. Stephanie Meadow on the tee at this par 5 14th.
With that light breeze in from the right as well, I don't think we're going to see any of these 3 players with a realistic chance to get home in 2 without getting a lot of bounce on the tee shot.
Shot. Here you go. That'll be all right. Your shot.
Allie McDonald works with VJ Trolio on her swing and Tim Yellerton on the short game. And how about that work at 8, and then at 12, and then at 13 to get up and down.
Yep, good shot there.
Long game pretty good too.
You mentioned that, Grant, then you look at for the
Mainly action,
season.
just a little off the right.
Allie's having played 11 events all the way down 104th and scrambling. Today she's a superstar at it.
Just 2 birdies for Se Young Kim today, the last at the 6th.
Okay.
Yep, leans like it's going in the right trees, and it's in the fairway.
She did some of that leaning when she shot 31 under too, and it would, you know, be a yard right of the hole, maybe.
Yeah, she was trying to hit the right side of the flagstick sometimes instead of the center. That was amazing.
And it was not a hard golf course by any means, but she won by 9, you know. Ernst for birdie.
Yeah, sure. If you want to kill B-Pack real quick.
And a great opportunity goes by the wayside. Se-young and Ali topping each other with great up and downs for par. The lead remains 3. Here's our leader, Se-young Kim, up by 3.
That gives you, well, it's 8 more thirds in the bumper.
Stephanie Meadow first to go, I believe. Meadow tied for 3rd.
Still could take it. That tree? Just left of that tree, huh? At the corner of the halfway house?
Yeah.
All right, come on now.
Got a little bit of mud on the ball and a bee. And certainly from here, back into the breeze with an uphill lie. Those cross bunkers are in play if she hits it offline at all. She's got 230 to carry the one on the left. About 205 to carry the one on the right. Doesn't sound like much, but from an uphill lie into what is now a freshening breeze, any miss hit, they're in play. Well, this was a very conservative layup right there.
It's amazing how different this golf course has played without the wind. It's a hole that a lot of the players were able to reach the previous few days while it's been downwind.
Right, Allie McDonald, 3 back, a chance to maybe get one up there around the hole.
Looks to be good shape.
Se-young Kim.
Yep, from here she really has no trouble. Can't get it to the front bunker green side, I don't believe, but certainly no trouble carrying either of the cross bunkers. Just trying to pick a good line and get it up there as close as she can.
Nice.
Basically straight at the flag stick.
Nearly, looks like flirting with another divot. Looks like it's in okay shape.
Jessica Corder's putting together a nice final round. She's got this for birdie at 17. Outside chance here, but looking very good.
Oh.
So it gets her to 6 under for the day. So par at the last will be a 64, equal the lowest round of the week. It will equal her 2nd best number on tour. Last shot 64 back at the Founders Cup in 2019. So Jessica's going to take some confidence from the way she's played today. Go to the tee at the 15th and Brooke Henderson.
This is the 5-iron, and this hole playing more downwind today. Difficult green to hit, even though that flag is located somewhat near the middle right.
Yeah, just took a big hop.
It's a good high shot though, Tom.
It's not too bad there though. It's a tough hole. It's been a tough hole all week. It's going to get better.
Well, the week began with the Stanley Cup on the property. It is currently in possession of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Tampa St. Pete native Brittany Lincecum, her daughter Emery, were there. And the Hendersons, big fans of the Ottawa Senators, living just 45 miles or so from there in Smiths Falls, Ontario. The Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup champions again. And what a year it has been. The Rays made it to the World Series after winning the American League pennant. And tomorrow night, right here in Tampa, the Buccaneers tied for the most wins in the NFC with 7. They host the Los Angeles Rams. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski have pumped life into this Buccaneer franchise.
Even though the wind's kind of right to left hurting. Yeah. I mean, really, just under a 30 shot probably won't hurt us, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the hole again?
121. Okay. You got it.
Third shot for Meadow.
121, John Clayton telling her just a little under 130, adjusting it for the breeze in from the right. That's a little 9-iron. Hold it just a bit. Good shot.
You're going to see a lot of golf balls past the hole, just because you can see it's cut pretty tight to the front part, and you absolutely cannot land it just short of the fringe. So popular place today from just above the hole.
If you're 3 down like Allie McDonald, would you rather be going first here with a third shot into this 14?
I always prefer to go first. I think for Allie, she's just got to clean up her irons a little bit. It's just been a little bit loose, so one good wedge shot can change that.
66 yards from an uphill lie into the breeze. You can make this one dance.
Nice.
And now Se Young with a great view of what McDonald just did.
Very similar shot. Not as much of an uphill lie, 61 yards. Got lucky on this one because that could have easily, another inch to the left, been resting up against the old divot that was laying in the fairway, and you'd have been terrified to move it. That's in low with a bunch of spin.
Okay.
Se Young Kim and Allie McDonald with birdie putts on the 14th, with Kim hanging on to a 3-shot lead. Big log jam at 8 under par, tied for third. Stephanie Meadow trying to get out of it. This for birdie at 14.
A little bit of a delicate one here, slightly downhill and just past the hole. It slopes away even more. Gave it a bit too much respect.
Andrew Stanford's had a really good day today. This is for birdie at 17 to get it to 6 under for the round, get it to 8 under par for the week. By my calculations, if she stays in a tie for third, it'll be the 55th time in her career she's finished inside the top 5.
Wow.
In an LPGA event.
6 wins.
A major.
But at the hole, it's
impressive.
This way. At the hole.
And going home in a couple of weeks, the Volunteers of America Classic.
At the hole, it's going like this. But it's down in the beginning. Right to left a little bit.
Se Young Kim makes her home in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. Her home in the States. McDonald is in closer for birdie. First Se Young.
As Paul described, downhill early, turning left late.
Turning left.
Oh, just hung on.
Wow.
Wow is right.
I mean, what else can you say? McDonald was in there close.
Well, and you can't walk away from a par 5 and not birdie it. There's only 2 par 5s on the golf course. This the only one on the back 9. She knows she was going to have to make birdie.
And I think Allie McDonald knows that as well, especially now.
No question, uphill. Maybe right side of the hole.
Oh, that close. Se Young just lipped out earlier for birdie. Allie now lips out. 15.
Henderson for birdie.
Should be looking to try and bounce back after only making par on the previous hole. I say bounce back because Brooke loves to birdie
Sure.
those par 5s.
Man, she's been so close today. You know, a good round and hanging in there 2 under on the day, but she's had some opportunities to try to make a charge. She's played aggressively.
Jennifer Song for a birdie at 17. So get Jennifer to 5 under for the round. Playing alongside Angela Stanford and Mel Reid. Angela, we mentioned, going along really well, 6 under for the day. Mel Reid's played well. She's 2 under for the round, 4 under overall. Mel was tied 63rd after the first round, shot 73 on day 1, so she's bounced back nicely. A lot of big name players on the first page of the leaderboard. This golf course has brought out the best in some of the best players, and I think bringing out the very best of Se-Yeon Kim, in my opinion, the best player in the world. Doesn't reflect that way on the world ranking. She's world number 2. Chance that she would go to world number 1 after this week, but the projections are not being made this year by those wizards that put together the world rankings because of the COVID changes. It's just too difficult to get the projections 100%, but there is a chance she could be world number 1. It's going to be close. There's Lexi, 69 today. Maria Farsi, 68. She showed some good signs this week, Maria Farsi. She's beginning to get some momentum in her game. Maybe a couple of good finishes coming her way towards the end of the year. That will certainly add some excitement to the tour if it were to happen. Jin Young Ko back in the field for the first time this year in an LPGA event. She has been playing on the KLPGA Tour. She's back over in the US to finish off the season. And not a great week. Tied 34th, but she will look for better things in 2 weeks' time in Dallas. On the tee at the 15th, Stephanie Meadow.
Going to go first, fellow competitors. Both took a little comfort break. This has a wind from the left. It is freshening a bit. Nothing like the first 3 days, though. It might be just a touch of help in it at a 5-iron.
You like a good line.
Yes, very perceptive there. Excellent line.
A really good shot. One of the best you've seen. And Stephanie Meadow with a chance to get it to 9 under par. She's locked in that battle right now for 3rd.
Being with family is a great Thanksgiving tradition, and this year you can share it with the world's favorite and funniest prehistoric family, the Croods, this Thanksgiving weekend on November 25th. DreamWorks Animation's new film, The Croods: A New Age. And that fella, or ma'am, is not part of the cast, but it arrives in theaters.
Good, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to give credit to our director, John Del Vecchio, who chooses the shots there. Somehow
It seemed
managed to
appropriate.
find a squirrel.
We saw an otter yesterday.
And Krista Mayo also working alongside them in the truck, and all of the hard-working folks working under different conditions at the moment due to the COVID, and it's good to be out here working. Se-Yeon Kim.
6-iron for Se-Yeon. That was steep and trapped left.
Ooh.
Well, it's not over yet. 4-shot lead, but you got to get it in the house. Loose one. Both tee shots at the par 3s and the back 9 have not been good. But she wasn't far away from knocking it in the water at 12. Made it good up and down.
Well, I do feel it's just a stock one, not like you have to take anything off, you know. Still 187 total. It's not directly behind. It's sort of quartering.
Okay.
Camperdam Chapman is in full grind mode right now. No signal. It's most likely 5, could be 6.
Yeah, the caddies will signal the on-course commentators to give us an idea of what club they're hitting, but Dan obviously concentrating on where this is going to go. going left.
Just barely when helping it stay on line. Yeah, that was definitely 5-iron.
That's too much. It's a big mistake. It could go over the green. Okay, that's a big difference. If it run off the green there, it goes right downhill, and she's got a pitch shot, but still a long putt. Not the best tee shot with an opening. Se-Yeon Kim knocking it in the bunker. That's the ball of Se-Yeon Kim in the bunker, and it looks to be lying pretty well, Jerry.
Yeah, this is a very basic bunker shot for a highly trained professional. Slide uphill lie, plenty of green with which to work. Medium length shot. Splash it out, let it release a bit.
Wonderful play. The rakes here have those quite fine, quite thick tines on them, and some of the bunker rakes can leave deep grooves, but certain caddies will turn the rake over and smooth it out, and I think Se-Yeon Kim's ball ended up on an area that the caddy had smoothed out. It's a lot easier than being in those thick rake marks.
The skill of raking the bunkers is highly underrated.
It's a 3 for Se-Yeon Kim. No damage. After a poor tee shot at 12, she got it up and down for a 3. Poor tee shot at 15, she gets it up and down. Now, as we look at this again, look at the rake over on the right and look where her ball is. A lot smoother. Still had to execute the shot, though.
And really, in a straightforward shot like that, it's about picking what kind of shot you want to hit. I mean, there's a million different ways to play that. You could have played it a little lower and run it even more. But she's never been one that's been difficult or had a difficulty of being decisive. She seems to always take her time figuring out which shot she wants to hit and then immediately being decisive about hitting it.
Now, Ali got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, just to leave herself a stress-free par would be a lot of work from here. It'd be a heck of a putt. And this one's going uphill, a rise at about 2.5 feet. It's going to throw it right as well, and that's just about halfway there. And then on the other side, downhill, for the most part, all the way to the hole. Really tough putt to judge the speed.
We'll get a good sense of how her speed control is today. She mentioned it was something that was bothering her a little bit yesterday, not having as good a speed control on these longer putts that she wanted.
That's really,
so good.
Really good.
I think that's one of the hardest putts, when you go up and then back down. You really have to be able to judge the speed that much better, because the tendency for it to get away from her is there. Good 2
3.
putt.
Yeah, good 3 for Ali. Still 4 behind. 3 holes to play. Let's go to 16.
And Brooke Henderson with the long birdie putt.
Yeah, really had to fight her aggressive tendencies. Her tee shot went left and found a really fluffy line up Bermuda grass, so had no chance to really go for this flag. That was good for speed.
Said she geared her season around the major championships this year more than ever. She plays all the time in a normal year, but because of COVID, the concerns, the quarantine in Canada, very prohibitive. So she'll have one more chance for a major championship. So close to the A&A.
Stephanie Meadow for a birdie at the 15th.
Maybe a little perplexed here. Took quite a bit longer to read it than she normally does. Anything moving just a touch left. Yeah, she's not comfortable on this one.
It's never a good sign, is it?
And don't see.
Well, it's better to step away.
Good point.
See if she makes it. Would be only the 5th birdie of the day here. 4th hardest hole for the week. Yeah, well done.
And she broke up that.
Yeah, breaks out of that tie, which is going to be lucrative if it stays that way come the end of the day.
Austin Ernst at 16.
Really lovely rhythm to that stroke. Oh, and a great-looking roll, too.
Missed a putt of about that length right there for birdie back at 14, maybe even inside of that. That would have taken her to 9 under. Now it's Meadow at -9, and Se-Young Kim. We have seen her just flying through rounds this season. A fast player getting even faster. Tom mentioned it earlier. Could she go to #1 in the world rankings? Possibly. But she is closing the gap on Jin Young Ko. Keep in mind, the decision was made earlier this year that players would not be penalized for not playing during the COVID period. And so Jin Young just playing her first LPGA event of the season this week. Stephanie Meadow with the honor.
Well, there was a big leaderboard just off the back of that green, so I'm pretty sure, I know John Colleen, or Caddy, knows where she is, but I think she had a peek of it before the birdie putt. Knows how big that was now. Work is certainly not done yet, and that's a beautiful start to this hole, right down the middle.
She's looked really confident with her driver today. Not afraid to take a good lash at it. See if we can get a drive without a lean.
Impossible. Standards are pretty high here. Because of that high ball flight, she's getting less roll than anybody in the field. This is right down the middle as well.
She didn't lean.
It's a big fairway.
There's water left that you'll contend with your approach here, or at least it's there if you want to flirt with it. Now McDonald, 4 back.
Set it up the right side, maybe even right edge.
Oh, that could get tricky.
It's going to be a difficult angle into this green. It's going to be sloping away from her towards the water.
Left foot maybe in the bunker, I don't know. Se-Young Kim up 4. Ready to play.
I think the wind, we're going to see it more left to right up there. It's a little help. Yeah.
16. That's the leaderboard.
4.
Kim by 4. Meadow now alone in third.
The T sign.
Yeah, I like the left edge of it.
Okay. All right.
Comes back. Great.
You got it. You got it. Go get it.
Left edge of that T sign is about the right edge of the cup. Pretty direct line, 154 and an 8 iron. Like
Wind's not as helping as much now. Okay. Just left to right. It should be hurt in the last 2. All right.
Just hit side.
Yeah, just hit it.
Full.
Yeah, hit it full.
Yeah. Still good, right?
Yep, still good.
He said that confidently. He's got a lot of experience, Colleen does, because this ball happens to take off in line with the target. There's going to be a little question in his head whether it gets there or not, but he was convinced it's enough. Oh. It looks awesome.
Go.
She said cover. Yeah. She was a little nervous. Now we saw Allie McDonald's tee shot come to rest in what looked like an awkward spot, and it is, isn't it?
Oh, it's awful. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things can go wrong here. You can hosel it easy as can be, stick the heel in the ground, turn over the club, and then it's in the penalty area left. And it literally is knee high. We say that all the time, but this one is literally knee high. This is a much more lofted club than the first one she had out.
target.
Se-Young Kim in the fairway waiting.
Now, Paige, if she does make good contact here on a good line, I mean, the angle's fantastic to run it up the green.
It's a big if.
It is huge. That was just a layup.
Great shot.
Well, she is vying to become the most popular native of Fulton, Mississippi. The other is Brian Dozier.
No, just, if anything, it's one to help, if that. It's mainly left to right.
Brian Dozier played for the World Series champion Washington Nationals. That was a baseball-type swing from Allie.
134 for Se-Young. Slide uphill lie and a 9-iron. Right of the hole. There's some contour there. Not going to hurt her.
Come on. Yeah, that's fine, but
Good shot with a 4-shot lead, isn't it?
Yeah, it was safe, conservative target.
So Allie McDonald is scrambling at the 16th, trying desperately. Third shot on this par 4 for Allie McDonald, who is 4 shots back.
She could play any number of shots here. It looks like she's opting for the standard pitch and release. Landed about halfway into the green and let the contour take care of the rest.
Not bad. Still got some work to do.
17.
Second shot for Lydia Ko.
This from 99 yards back into the wind, and we've seen Lydia be a magician from this distance in the past.
And pretty good this time. Flag fairly tight on the front of the green with the way that the green sits up. Almost looks like the flag's perched in the bunker.
Well, Angela Stanford went to the 18th with a chance to birdie and had the low round of the week. Instead, she'll give a shot back. Can't believe it. Tom mentioned 55 top fives, although that drops her into a tie for 7. 54, that would have been 55. She's 11th on the career money list.
It's been a heck of a career.
20th year. Well, you never say never, but this could be it for Se-Young.
Oh, yeah. Downhill, but not frightening. Back into the wind. A little turn left early. That's a little more than 3 feet remaining.
Allie's tee shot was offline, but it wound up in a terrible spot. Se-Young at 11 had a divot. Her ball came to rest in a divot hole. There is that rub of the green that we talk about. But she had an incredible up and down to save par. Has not made a bogey since the 9th.
Austin Ernst at the 17th for birdie.
This one back up the hill, breaking right. You can see she pretty much had to put a full shoulder turn on that. That's how steep the slope was.
Austin's a couple under for the day. And in a tie for 4th.
It's been steady, really, for Austin.
After a really fine approach on a very tough hole, Stephanie Meadow for birdie.
Turning a little left, this potentially could tie her for 2nd if Allie misses. Let's get into the upper tax brackets there, Grant. That was not her best putt.
No. But she, I mean, aside from the 2 bogeys to start the day, she's played, I think, the best in this group. We haven't not seen as sharp of a Se-Young Kim or Allie McDonald as we did yesterday. But Stephanie Meadows really hung in there. She's had 4 birdies on the card, since those first 2 bogeys.
Alone in third, her professional debut was the 2014 U.S. Women's Open. Finished 3 shots behind Michelle Wie. Third place there at Pinehurst. So par putts coming up for our top 2 players. First McDonald, then Kim.
Contour moves his ball to the right. Little breeze going just across that line, though. Not enough, I don't think, to affect the ball in any way.
She's been a little bit more stress on her putter today. She's had a couple good scrambles that we've seen, and that nice lag putt on the last hole. Just a lot of work. A lot of work today. It just felt a little bit more difficult.
A lot of work for both of them, and you know, this may well wind up being a 4 or 5 shot win for Se-Yeon Kim. It hasn't been as dominant as that final score may look. For a dominant player, Se-Yeon Kim. Only to say,
yeah, I mean,
there were moments it could have gotten
it's all
even
relative,
closer. Yeah.
but I think all of us were expecting her to come out charging. You know, birdied the first hole and felt like she was playing on her toes the whole time. But I feel like it's been a little bit on her heels today.
Bogey putt for Ali. It's a 5-shot lead with 2 holes to play for Se-Yeon Kim.
And in spite of the fact that we haven't seen, you know, the best stuff from Se-Yeon, she's doing what she needs to do. And ultimately, that's what you have to do to win the golf tournament.
Lydia Ko above the hole at 17 for birdie.
It was a delicate putt there, Tom, down the hill.
Yeah, it can get away from you. This green, as we've talked about all week, one of the flattest greens on the golf course, but still has some subtle undulations, not easy to read. One of the smaller greens as well. Now back to the tee. Really big opportunity for Stephanie Meadow to record her best finish on the LPGA Tour. Needs to get this one in the fairway.
Pretty much dead into the wind here. She likes that one.
Good shot.
Nicely done. Now Se-Yeon Kim.
Well, let me just say, if she finishes with the same golf ball, she wins. Only way to lose is to find some water.
Beauty.
And that's nice.
There's water off the tee, but it's not in play at 17. There is water behind the green, unlikely to be in play. There is water in play with the second shot at 18. And some out of bounds, but you'd have to really miss it by a wide margin to find it.
Yeah, no, the water's more in play than the OB.
Good swing.
Good swing. A little left of the others.
Yep, it's going to turn out okay. Bunkers down the left side at 17. Safe players down the right. Se-Yeon Kim, commanding lead. You can see it. 5 shots. Not easy to carry that board into the wind at 17.
Se-Yeon Kim with a 5-shot lead in the fairway at the 17th, closing in on her second straight victory. A 64 for Jessica Korda today, the Floridian. And she is the focus of our closing round, presented by Guaranteed Rate. This was at par 3 12.
Not a hole that a lot of players can get aggressive with. The whole location in the most difficult spot on the right side.
She was 4 under for the day at this point. Then made a birdie at the 16th, and then come on. Really? Oh. You betcha. Finding some form heading into a big finish this season. Our closing round highlights presented by Guaranteed Rate.
Right now it would be, until the wind comes up. 1 second here, let me look at the flag.
What's the actual cover?
Actual cover. Say 94.5 over there.
I think we have to hit the wedge.
Okay. That's what you took.
Stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Play the 110 shot.
Yeah. Maybe 1 away. Can you do that? That? Huh?
Yeah.
Looking at the chimney. You see it straight ahead?
Yeah.
Okay.
You like this?
Yeah, I do. Just feel it, okay?
Yeah.
Well, 100 and a pitching wedge. Now, they took a lot of time before we came back from commercial to really look at this, and primarily because this is the smallest green on the course, and it is hands down the shallowest target.
Yeah, it's visually intimidating. You look from that angle, you think, well, there's quite a lot of room there, but when you...
no wind, right? Well, look at the on number 10, though. It's there, but it's not 15 miles an hour.
From that angle, it's different, isn't it?
Here's the thing that we talked about. Then let's hit the 48 right of the bunker. Have the putt.
Yeah.
Huh? Because there's not any wind right now, much. Here it comes.
Just so like this.
Okay, I want you to commit, okay?
Committed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Caddy John Clean is definitely protecting from the backside bunker. We saw several players get into trouble hitting it over the green in the first couple of rounds.
The line's not nearly as important as the distance here, and with the wedge, you don't hit it off line much.
Go. Go.
Perfect.
Wow.
Perfect in the end. She knew that it was going to be tight. I think it pitched right on the edge of the bunker. Yeah. Nice.
Well, that didn't carry by 2 feet, Tom.
It's perfect.
Now, Ali.
A little bit of an awkward lie. Uphill lie into the breeze. Not much fun. It's going to have some spin on it. Tried dead-handing it a little.
Yep. Safe. Seyoung Kim said that she was going to be aggressive if the pin is accessible. She'll go at it.
Yeah, no debating club selection here. 81 yards and just her 56-degree wedge, which was so versatile for her.
Okay.
No trouble there at all. And Seyoung Kim has shots to spare at the moment. And a putt for birdie to get it to 16 under par here at the Pelican Golf Club. Back at the Pelican Women's Championship. And the 17th green, Seyoung Kim for birdie.
Wasting no time at all reading this putt, just steadily left the whole way.
Ease it down there, make the 4. I had a good conversation with Caddy Paul Fusco when I was watching her warm up today, and he said, this feels like what they've been doing over the last 6 years working together has all been building towards this moment. And I think when he means moment, he means this time of, in her career and the way that she's playing.
A week off for Thanksgiving coming up this week, and then the LPGA Tour returns to Golf Channel with the Volunteers of America Classic. Coverage begins December 3rd, and we invite you to join us on December 2nd, Wednesday, for the VOA Classic Charity Challenge. Jarena Pillar and Stacey Lewis are going to take on Mel Reed and Sophia Popoff. That'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern on that Wednesday. Good way to kick off couple of weeks in Texas.
Ali McDonald for a birdie at 17.
Pretty quick one here, and just a little left turn early.
Locked in a battle right now is Stephanie Meadow for second. And as we've seen, the putt can get away from you a little bit above the hole. And Stephanie will have a chance to get it to 10 under and tied for second. A sea of bunkers down the left side at 17. I'm sure they give the members a headache.
You know, talking to some of the folks here, they actually have grown out the rough lately. They usually keep it pretty tightly mown, into the pine straw and into the bunkers, and added extra challenge.
Great chance for Stephanie to earn her biggest check as a member of the LPGA Tour. We talked about US Women's Open when she first turned pro and wasn't a member of the tour. Made close to $300,000 that week, finishing third at Pinehurst. But since she has been a member of the tour, her biggest check is only just over $40,000. So very lucrative week.
A really good teach from Se Young.
Yeah, she learned a lot. That's really well done.
And that's kind of big right now.
Yeah. Well, second here is $145,000. Third is $105,000. So it's going to be
tie for third, and it's $125,000.
Yeah, you're quick with your math.
That one
Jerry.
was pretty easy.
Yeah. And Ali will have a putt to stay in a tie for second. She makes, so they will go to the 72nd hole. All tied up at 10 under, 5 behind Se Young Kim, who has just had a tremendous week and is without doubt playing the best golf of her career.
And as you said, and I agree, the best golf of anyone on the planet in women's golf. Though she is number 2 in the world rankings, Jin Young Ko is just coming back to the LPGA Tour, debuting in 2020 this week. Brooke Henderson at the 18th green.
Well, if ever there was a roller coaster putt, it would be this one. It's down and then up and then down again, and it's those kind of little ups and downs that make your stomach turn if you were riding it in a car. What a great putt.
A day of almost for Brooke. Really, I feel like she challenged on a lot of holes and didn't have nearly as many convert to really make a run at Se Young today.
All right, now tied for second place, Stephanie Meadow.
And like Paige mentioned, this club's been very good to her today. This is a big one. Fairway looks tighter than it really is from the tee. Breeze in from the right. I haven't seen her take that many deep breaths before. Sense in the moment.
Shot. Yeah, well done.
Yep, over the right fairway bunker.
Okay.
In ideal position.
It's been really fun to watch her play this weekend. You know, in a position that she's not used to, in the final group, playing with the leaders. She's really held her own. It's been fun to watch.
Se Young Kim has held everyone else's. She is up by 5.
Her agent was telling me she's always had a natural curiosity studying great athletes of the past. Led her to this week watching the first 2 episodes of the Michael Jordan documentary Last Dance, and she's, well, maybe just a few short weeks away from achieving for the first time world number 1.
You may recall when she won in Green Bay, she watched some motivational videos on YouTube, just found them, and 31 under later, she had an LPGA scoring record.
Good one there, right up the middle.
Count 340.
Se Young's dancing is just beginning. And she is about to win for the 12th time, coming off her first major championship and on her way here in Bel Air, Florida. This was just a moment ago at the 18th green, Austin Ernst.
Really straight up the hill. Hit a tremendous 5-iron to the front edge just to give herself a nice chance here.
That'll be a weekend of 65-68 for Austin Ernst. Tied for fourth. Lydia Ko for birdie.
This is one of those up and down putts, slippery to the right.
She would make that for par. Finish at 8 under with Ernst. And our final group.
I'm trying to add it because if I was enough to carry everything. And then you don't have that hump to deal with over there on the left, okay?
Yeah.
So the right front 72, so that's fine. So just like the wind's right to left with her.
Yeah.
Okay? That's perfect. You got it.
Jerry John Colleen has joined up with Stephanie Meadow. And, you know, if you're Stephanie, you say, how did Patty Sheehan play this? How did Julie Inkster play? I mean, he's had some of the best bags of the last 30 years or so.
Well, you're in your best position ever in an LPGA event as a member. You're standing in the fairway at the 72nd hole, and you have a 5-wood into a green with trouble everywhere. Like, that's what they had in mind when they designed this hole, because this is what the locals tell you is the normal wind. There's plenty of clubs left of the hole, though.
I mean, you can understand.
I mean, that's the bailout, right? That's the bailout long. It's not going to be an easy shot back up and then to a green sloping away.
That's a great target.
Meadow and McDonald squared off in the Curtis Cup back in 2014. McDonald's U.S. team got the best of GB and I. Together again this weekend.
189 yards to the hole and a 4 hybrid for Allie. That's right where she was looking, 15 feet left or so.
Wow, that landed so softly.
Really.
What a shot. Just another big week for Allie. Not going to walk away from the win, but
Good.
put herself in good position once again.
Se Young Kim, 5-shot lead as you see, and one more swing with more full swing. Let's
Definitely
say.
hurting up
Yes.
Five iron. Ooh, my.
Sit down, ball. Sit.
That's dry. That's about it, though.
Hasn't been as easy today.
Quite, even though it's going to wind up looking that way in just a few minutes' time. Today's coverage is brought to you by Konica Minolta. To learn more, visit reshapedwork.com. Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable. Win Grips, the best grips in golf. and by NEC, an official technology partner of the LPGA. A brief moment deciding which player would go first, Kim or Meadow. It's going to be Stephanie Meadow, who is tied for second at the moment.
Very tight lie, slight downhill lie. She looks like she's just going to try and one-hop it into the sizable steep mound in front of her and pop it onto the edge of the green from there. There's so much contour. Anything short of that might run back at her. If she clips it a little too cleanly, it'll be gone.
Bogey would go a long way.
It would guarantee her no worse than third, correct?
Third shot.
Not what she wanted, but worse things could have happened there.
Two puddle, reasonable from there, right?
It is. I mean, she was in trouble with, trying to get up and down from that area. So she gave herself at least a look at par, which is probably a similar thought process, Jerry, maybe to what Se Young's facing.
Yeah, exactly. Se Young actually took a few practice swings like she was going to hit a lob shot. And I think Paulie was just about to just yank the club out of her hands.
Members here at Pelican Golf Club with their blue coats. Plenty good enough with the five-shot lead, yes. Couldn't afford to do something silly there. Time for our UL Innovative Shot of the Day. Go back to the 14th hole. Allie McDonald was about half as close to the hole as Se Young Kim, but Se Young rolled it in. Allie lipped out her birdie attempt, and at that point the lead swelled to 4. And Se Young hasn't looked back. That's our innovative shot of the day, brought to you by UL. And McDonald has a putt for birdie, and we have par putts for Meadow and Se Young Kim, our leader. If you think about this, it's her 142nd, and she's got some bubbly waiting as well. They have a vending machine that has some bubbly.
Don't waste that one. Don't.
Inside there. It's incredible. 142 career events for Se Young Kim. This is going to be her 12th win. She's going to be averaging close to $70,000 per start on the LPGA Tour, which is just remarkable. Meadow with a big putt here.
Doesn't do much, and she's had the hot hand with the putter today. It is uphill. Really no danger in making worse than 5 at all.
Careful here.
You should gun it 4 feet past. That is going to be a treacherous bogey putt.
And again, if she makes bogey, she finishes third alone. If she misses that, then she will share third place with Austin Ernst and Lydia Ko. And Allie McDonald is going to go ahead here just to clear the way, I believe.
Yeah.
Birdie putt for Allie. Paige and Jerry, how about these last couple of tournaments going toe-to-toe with Danielle Kang and Se Young Kim for Allie McDonald?
It's got to be a huge confidence boost. To see yourself in that position, to perform while you're in that position, obviously winning a couple of weeks ago and then putting up a great fight. She's got now a chance for solo second with this birdie. You just got to see yourself and believe that you can be there.
How about it?
What a way to
Tells
finish.
her so much about herself, too. Just clutching up and hitting that shot into this green in a tight battle for second.
How about that? So if you go 1-1, Jerry, against Danielle Kang and Se Young Kim, you're doing something, aren't you?
Pretty good.
What a scene here, even without the full complement of fans. whom we hope to see at the second iteration of this event. Beautiful. What a debut.
He's been a tremendous host for this event. We've seen some really great golf the last couple of days. The course has shown very well, shown some serious teeth, especially the first 3 days. And it's a big putt. She's been very good with this length of putt over the last few days.
This for solo third. Sees her checking account tomorrow, she will even appreciate that putt even more.
Yeah, and playing the weekend the way that she did in the final group, standing toe to toe and playing some good golf. I'm anxious to see if that's able to carry over in the next couple of weeks.
Well, from her very first year on the LPGA Tour, early in her first season, we saw the explosive ability of Se-Young Kim. We're seeing it again.
It's all right.
She's done it again. Se-Young Kim follows up her first major championship with her 12th career title, the winner of the inaugural Pelican Women's Championship. She's about to be inside the bubbly. The race to the CME Globe, she moves up to third and takes over the top spot in the money list. 3 events to play, 2 before we get to Naples and the CME Group Tour Championship, where she won last year on this weekend, 52 weeks ago, with $1.5 million payday. Se-Young, our champ, with Jerry Foltz.
Can I get the taller, please?
Asking for the towel from Paul as he's getting drenched as well. Se-Young, quite a celebration amongst your peers. Was today a little more work than you expected?
Oh yeah, just if I play same as the last 3 days, I expected for sure. But Ali played quite pressured me when I turned the 9 because my shot feeling wasn't good, so I was a little shook my head. Yeah, so it was going to 3-shot lead. When I go to 3-shot lead, I was like, oh my God, it can't be like, she can't be like chase me. So I was like, okay, Se-Young, so focus on it. I'll keep going. Yeah.
Well, you did it well. Congratulations. Enjoy the celebration.
All right, thank you.
Amazing.
She felt the pressure and she ended up responding. She did exactly what she needed to do today. Impressive couple of weeks that we've seen from her.
She's now the 3rd winningest player from the Republic of Korea behind Se-Ri Pak and In-Bi Park, and she breaks a tie with Lexi Thompson. Each had 11 wins coming into the week. She now has 12. She'll go back home to her U.S. residence in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and be there at the Volunteers of America Classic coming up. Golf Central comes your way next. And our coverage of the Volunteers of America Classic begins December 3rd. Remember the charity match on Wednesday, December 2nd at 4 p.m. Thanks to everyone who made it possible all week long. Producer Beth Hutter, Director John Del Vecchio, and our entire crew. For Paige McKenzie, for Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Karen Stupples, I'm Grant Boone. Se-Young Kim to 12 career titles on the LPGA Tour.